The Joe Rogan Experience.
Who is the unbiased journalist? Who's the one that we trust for information? It used to be the New York Times. The New York Times used to be like brutally honest about basically everything. And now you read something in the New York Times like we did when we go, oh, it's the New York Times though.
Yeah.
Like that's a weird shift that's happened in the last 10 years. Like less.
Yeah, but
right?
I mean, it's definitely been like exposed in the last 10 years. But I think that truthfully, I think it's kind of a silver lining that at least people are starting to be aware of that. And people are starting to go like, okay, I know that these institutions are not to be trusted. Because truthfully speaking, they got, it's like I was saying to you before we started, where it's like for all the shit that people give Alex Jones, he got all of the biggest stories right over the last 20 years. Yeah. And I'm not saying he didn't get anything wrong, but really, really big things like should we go to war in Iraq?
Yeah.
Should we bail out bankers? Should all of this? He called these as lies and corruption right away. And the New York Times was selling all of these. I mean, they sold the war in Iraq. And so to me, it's not the worst thing in the world if people at least recognize that these institutions are completely compromised. And I agree with you that there is a role for objective journalism, but I would at least accept if they were like, hey, listen, we think, like what you just said, we think we have this platform and we need to use this to get Donald Trump not elected. At least be honest with it. Don't bullshit me and tell me we're just doing objective news and every single story is about how Donald Trump is, needs to.
They don't even address it. They don't say they're doing objective news anymore. They just do their thing.
Well, they call other news fake news. So they'll say
the New York Times doesn't.
Well, the New York Times may not, but I'm speaking in the corporate press in general.
Right.
They'll say like, well, there's fake news out on the internet, and even the New York Times has done stories about how social media companies need to do more to, combat fake news on the internet and things like that.
But they're talking about like super hardcore QAnon type shit. Aren't they?
Well, kind of. I mean, it starts with that, and then they'll use that as an example, but then usually they also go to other things. Like, look, this New York Post story about Hunter Biden's laptop was called fake news from the day it came out, to the point that not only would all of the corporate press not report on it, but that social media companies were banning the link, and Twitter froze the New York Post's Twitter account.
One of the CNN journalists on Twitter called it Russian disinformation.
Yes, there's a bunch of people called it Russian disinformation.
I wonder if it was Russian disinformation, the photo of the girl giving him a foot job.
Yes.
Was that Russian?
That was all. She was Russian, and the foot was Russian. It was a Russian foot job.
What happened to that? I kind of lost track of what was happening with the laptop, but they have they shared information of it?
Rudy Giuliani sold it on eBay.
Is that what's going on at the landscaping
Made a
thing?
killing.
At the Four Seasons landscaping event?
I don't know. This is the thing that's going on. There's almost like too much information is coming at us.
Well, look, it's basically been verified that this was Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, within any reasonable standard for a journalist to verify something. I mean, number one, the Bidens didn't deny it. Like, nobody actually came out and denied that this was. They had his signature at the repair shop, which they matched up to his signature. They've had other people on the email chains confirm that these were emails between them and Hunter Biden. So it's been pretty reasonably kind of verified that this was Hunter Biden. Now, I don't know about the crazier accusations that were made there. I mean, Rudy Giuliani said that there were pictures of underage girls and stuff like that. I don't know if that's true or not. But Rudy Giuliani did turn it over to the Delaware police. That is true, because the Delaware, a spokesman for the Attorney General, said that they received the laptop and that they sent it to the FBI. Now, I don't know why he would turn this over claiming this stuff was on there, and then they would send this to the FBI if there wasn't something, but I don't know. But what you do know, right, is that this was a story where they had these emails about Hunter Biden, who is very clearly a swamp creature, who was selling his father's name to rake in money from foreign companies. Now, truth be told, that's a kind of run-of-the-mill scandal as far as politics go.
Normal.
It's normal. Every senator's kid, family, wife, they all do stuff like this all the time. It's a corrupt swamp, But it's a story, nonetheless. It may not be but to just make the conscious decision that we are a few weeks out from a presidential election, this can harm Biden, and therefore we're not mentioning it. We're not covering it. We're not trying to debunk this to a bunch of people. We are trying to make sure people never get their eyes on this.
Well, I think
That's
they
creepy.
felt the heat. They felt the heat from 2016, from the Hillary Clinton email debate. Whether or not she should have deleted those emails, and that the fact that Comey then opens up the investigation again in the middle of the campaign, and that was basically what even though she won the popular vote, a lot of people felt like that was that was a bad move.
Yeah.
And so this year they said, we're going to do everything we can to get rid of Donald Trump. Again, they become activists instead of just journalists.
Yeah.
And it's tricky.
Well, that's 100% what happened. I mean, they felt in a way that they were responsible for Donald Trump winning.
Ex-Hunter Biden associates records don't show proof of Biden business relationship amid unanswered questions. Episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience are now free on Spotify. That's right, they're free. From September 1st to December 1st, they're going to be available everywhere. But after December 1st, they will only be available on Spotify, but they will be free. That includes the video. The video will also be there. It'll also be free. That's all we're asking. Just go download Spotify. Much love. Bye-bye.